The last module on technology, we will discuss FM systems. Sometimes hearing aids and cochlear implants are not enough for the child to adequately pay attention, hear the teacher in the classroom, and succeed in the academic setting as we would like. When that occurs, we always recommend an FM system. These are systems to aid in communication situations when the communication may be impaired, even though hearing aids and cochlear implants are being used. These systems help to overcome three main communication difficulties. Number one is the distance. If the child is placed in the back row, it's harder for the child to hear the teacher when the teacher is standing up front. The other communication difficulty that assistive listening devices and FM systems are trying to overcome is background noise. Classrooms are very noisy. They can have air conditioning noise, hall noise, traffic noise, as well as children getting up, whispering, and shuffling. Hearing aids will amplify all of that background noise. The last communication difficulty that assistive listening devices are trying to overcome is the reverberation and poor room acoustics. Without an FM system, the classroom may have inadequate acoustics that can impact the learning of a child, such as the child may have a difficult time concentrating and paying attention because of all the background noise. This would affect his ability to learn, to read, to write, to spell, as well as understanding the teacher's speech. It may show up or manifest in a child's behavior, acting out, not paying attention, wanting to cut up in class, which will also impede the child's academic success. Therefore, an FM system or an assistive listening device is used to overcome all of the poor room acoustics so that a child can pay attention better and have access to the teacher's spoken language. Why aren't hearing aids enough? Well, hearing aids amplify speech, but because the microphone of the hearing aid is right above the ear, the microphone will amplify everything else around the child, as well as the speech of the teacher and the speech of the children sitting next to them. Whereas assistive listening device has the microphone directly attached to perhaps the teacher's shirt, or she may wear a boom mic that comes over the ear and just simply sits right here at the mouth. And the child hears the teacher as if the teacher is just within a few inches or a few feet of the child. You just watched a video that gave you some main teacher tips in using an FM system and what to do. The first and foremost tip that you saw is always make sure that you have the FM system on and that the FM system is actually turned on and you have a direct pathway to the student. That way you do have a personal signal with the student and the student can hear everything that you're saying to the entire class. Always keep in mind, like you saw on the video, the child can only hear you. The child cannot hear the other classmates. Therefore, you will need to repeat the other students' comments or questions. If in reading class, quite often I've seen teachers say to one child, read this paragraph, then go to the next child, okay child, pick up, and okay Billy, pick up next. And when it comes to the child with hearing loss's turn to read, because he's not heard every other child reading, he didn't know where to pick up. And so these are just tips to be mindful of when constructing your class, perhaps using a remote microphone or having the children come up and talk into the microphone if they're reading something to the class taking turns. The students can also use that FM tool in a small group setting, but do be mindful that you want to turn the FM system or the assistive listening device off when you leave the classroom. Otherwise, the child may hear you talking to another teacher in the hallway and be able to tell all the classmates everything that you're saying.